chords. The first thing that I need to explain before we do the chords is that you need to understand that each degree of the scale has a number assigned to it. The first degree of the scale is 1, and in major, that's do, and we call that the tonic. 1, re would be 2, mi would be 3, fa is 4, so is 5, la is 6, ti is 7, and do is 8. But actually it's a repeat of 1, but it's an octave from here to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's an octave. All right. Now the next thing you need to know, you need to understand what a triad is. So a triad is when we have 2 thirds stacked on top of each other. So let's look at we're going to do the triad that goes with 1, or the tonic, do. So here's a third, 1, 2, 3. And here's another third, 1, 2, 3. So we have a third and another third stacked on top of each other. That's our basic tonic triad. Now we can extend that and jump down to sol here, which would just be starting our triad again. So let's see and see what that would sound like. Do, mi, so, mi, so, do, mi, so, do. So that's the tonic triad, the 1 chord. Let's look at the next one we look at is the 5 chord. So I have, let me move this so we can see we have to have a triad here. So we have to have a third stacked on top of another third. So we have sol to ti and ti to re. That makes a triad. Here's sol to ti and ti to re. And we'll move that down to re. So this would be our 5 chord, or our triad, based on the 5th degree of the scale. This is called the dominant. They also have names, not just numbers, but names. This is the tonic, and 5 is called the dominant. And so here's our 1, and here's 5. 5, so. So this is what our dominant triad would sound like. So, ti, re, ti, so, re, ti, so, ti, re, so, ti, re, ti, so. And then we could go back to our tonic triad, which is listed here with the blue. Do, mi, do, so, mi, so, do. Now we're going to switch to the dominant, or the 5 chord. Ti, re, ti, so, re, ti, do, mi, so, mi, do, re, ti, so, ti, re, ti, do. And the next one is the 4 chord, or also called the subdominant. So remember, this is scale degree 1, 2, 3, 4. And so this is a triad based on fa. So I'm going to move this to fa. And we have to have a third here. And we have to have another third on top of it. So here's the third. Here's a third. Let's go down to fa here. Here's our third. And here's our third. And that one's going to be off our chart down there. That would be the do here. Okay, so let's see what that one sounds like. Here's our do, so, fa. Is our note there? Fa, la, do, la, fa, do, la, fa, la, do, fa. And then we could go to the dominant, or the 5th chord. So, ti, re, ti, re, do. So that was a little chord progression there. When you do 1 chord, another chord, and another chord, that's a chord progression. And the 5 chord is usually followed by the 1 chord. In our musical brains, we have a feeling of completion when we get back to the tonic, or to the home tone. So let's do that one more time. We'll move between this is the tonic, or the 1 chord, and this is the dominant, the 5 chord, and this is the subdominant, the 4 chord. Okay? So now we could also, you know what, let's move this. I'm going to show you this down below, the subdominant, because it's below the dominant. It's actually why it's called the subdominant. If you look here, the dominant is a fifth above the tonic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the subdominant is a fifth below the tonic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the subdominant. So here we go. Let's try. We're going to move between these. All right. Now, if you're really good at this, you could sing different things than I'm singing. I could be singing do, mi, so, mi, do. You might be singing do, so, mi, so, do. And then when I move to this one, you're going to sing anything in that chord, and over here anything in this chord, the subdominant. Do, mi, so, mi, do, so, ti, re, ti, so, ti, do, mi, so, mi, do, fa, la, do, fa, mi, so, do, ti, re, so, re, do, mi, do. So that little introduction to the tonic, the dominant, and the subdominant chord in major.